Hey guys, welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. This is part 3 in our tackle explanation videos. This is just all the gear that we use when we go out carp fishing. And here we go. So right here we've got our boilies that we've made. We've made these quite a while ago. They're still perfect. They haven't rotted away or gotten any kind of fungus on them. And we put some of them in a bottle with some goos from millies that were soaking in goo. We finished out the millies, so we just put in the boilies to see if they'd pick up any of that scent. This is the bucket that we mix our ground bait in. These are the little ground bait molds that we use to put the ground bait onto the little spring when we tackle up. This here is our bass kit. Take a bass kit with us wherever we go, just in case we find an opportunity to go bass fishing. Then at least we've got some kit to go along with it. And in our bass kit we've got some hooks for our carp gear, and we've got a whole bunch of worms and lures and all of that kind of thing. Then this is our rod stand. We normally use this at the back of our rods, for our rod rest, for the butt of the rods. It's actually a beach fishing tripod thing, but it's very, very useful, and it's great because you can extend it up if you need to get over something. And here we've got all our different hook baits. So we've got our millies, we've got some instant dough, we have our boilie tool with the drill and the what do they call that thing, and the herring putter honor, I suppose. Then those are just pre-made doughs. We haven't used them at all. That's more flavored minis. Those are marshmallows. That's sweet corn, more millies soaked in flavors and that kind of thing. There's our boilie stops and some fake corn. Those are pop-ups, crab and strawberry or something, can't remember. Caramel floaties. That's more dough, honey dough. It's a bit old and not that great. That's pink sweets floaties. That's vampire floaties. Those are like a garlic. That's our carp fishing medic, so carp care. That was garlic floaties. That's black magic floaties. They're they're just a float that sits on the hook, and it's almost like a pop-up but not quite. And the marshmallows are also very similar. We haven't caught anything on the marshmallows. There's spicy bun spice, also marshmallow. Then we've also got sweet corn soakers, and there's our scissors, some banana floaties, and we also have a syringe for putting on concentrates or goos or even water sometimes, for the dough. It's quite useful as well. And as you can see, everything fits really nicely into this biscuit tray plasticky thing. You can buy them at Westpac. They cost like 50 Rand for 5 or something stupid like that. And let's move on to the next part. That's our big bucket of ground bait. Use it just to cart around enough ground bait for whatever session we're looking at. This bucket here has some wet wipes. It's got PVA mesh, with a little loader that we made, a knife which is connected to a bunch of nail clippers, and a little Leatherman type thing. It was basically our first tackle tool, if you want. Got all kinds of little useful things. We've got a spom, which we actually found at one of the dams. Got a can opener for when we open up cans of sweet corn, something like that. We've got a couple of floats. And this is basically our odds and ends bin, almost like stuff we really don't use that often, but it's always good to have around. You never know what the trip might require in order to actually get a bite. Moving along to the other carp tackle bit, as you can see it's coming apart. This is just all the little rigs. They're all red fillet trace really. There's also a couple that are just a hook and line, and those are just there in case you want to use a piece of bread or something like that. There's some sinkers and some line already tied up with a little hook and sinkers applied. And yeah, it's also got some floaters and some little bells and extra hooks and that kind of thing. And then here we've got and that's a rod rest, that's a bite alarm. Got a couple of those. That's your good old normal bite alarm. Our scale, that's our forceps. And then on the other end of this we've got a multi-tool. It's pliers, scissors, what else is it? Yeah, it's pliers and scissors and everything all in one. Quite useful. We've attached it to a coiled spring so that we can grab it wherever we need it to. That's a pre-made hook with sinkers and a float. There's one that's actually put together. Duracell battery for our other bite alarm. This is another bite alarm with more batteries. These are other newer bite alarms. They're also pretty cool. Those are our floats that a friend of ours gave us. We just need to varnish them and hook them up and see how well they work. This here is just a cool little trick. If you want, get a 20mm pipe, take your rig with the line as it is, cut 2 notches into the 20mm PVC pipe. Yeah, it's PVC pipe by the way, and just wrap the line around it. When you get to the float, you can just pass the float into the 20mm pipe, as you'll see now. Pass it through, and then just pull the line tighter. Around the PVC pipe. And then all you need to do is just find a way to fasten it. When we say fasten it, just make sure that it doesn't unravel in your tackle kit. And the easiest way to do that is we found these wire things that you use in the garden. They're like a wire inside of some plastic. You can use whatever you can find. An elastic band will work. We had elastic bands on it, but the elastic band just got old and came off, so that's why we opted for this metal surrounded in plastic. Can't remember what they're called, but they used to put them on bread. You might find it on bananas or tomatoes or something like that, one of those packets. You can often find them in packaging, or even on computer cables or audio visual cables or something like that. You'll normally find these things, and they'll last you forever. Hell, you could even just find a piece of wire that's thin enough that'll do this, but you might be better off just using an elastic band. Now, so as you can see, we've got 2 of those. We've got 2 other floats. In case you were wondering just before that, that was a different day that I recorded that. This is our more carpy bite alarm with a swinger arm for bite detection. I really like these. They are a bit expensive. As you can see, the battery's gone out on this, so we need to put in that Duracell we've got and buy a new one. That's just a really big float, so that if we want to try and measure the depth, we can. A whole bunch of split shots, some more split shots with a little bit more weight, another pair of scissors. Those are specifically braided cutting scissors, although the other multi-tool also has a braid cutter on it. And this is another one of those bite alarm, the normal bite alarms. This is a hybrid kind of thing. It sits on the rod, but it works very similar to the carp alarm. It's got a little wheel in it, so that's also quite cool. As you can see, we've got a lot of bite alarms, and we've got some more batteries for the bite alarms. Oh, and we've got 2 really big sinkers, also again to use with a float, to use that big float to try and use it as a marker float. And we've got another syringe. As you can see, there are duplicates in our fishing tackle, and some odds and ends, stuff that we find in the lakes or that come out of the lakes. We normally just appropriate it. And then 40mm PVC pipe to keep our bank sticks all together. As you can see, all our bank sticks are there. There's about 3 bank sticks in total, 3 sets, so it's 6 bank sticks in total. And it's really convenient, actually. Keeps it neat and tidy. You don't have to worry about them running away, because there's so many in there. They're actually holding each other in. And we've got 3 that are telescopic bank rods, so they actually come out and go a bit taller than the other standard bank sticks. Also, the El Cheapies, I think they were probably like 10 or 20 rand each, 40 rand a set, might even be 20 rand a set. And then this is we've got a gazebo, we've got a chair, got a tent, tripod, there's another chair, we've got about 3 chairs in total, got a orange umbrella. Also, there was a beach shelter somewhere, and then that's our carp mat. As you can see, it's quite big. It's about 1 meter by half a meter, I think. And our 2 nets, one that collapses, our boots as well, and that's our boilie gun, which is an extruder that we just use as a boilie gun. And we even have a braai, or otherwise known as a barbecue. We haven't taken that one out yet to test it out, but it's a little briefcase, heavy, really heavy, but it's a full metal barbecue that collapses down to a little briefcase looking thing. And that's our dustbin. Oh, and in those black boxes we've got bran and chick mix and chicken pellets and all of that kind of thing from when we were looking at doing our own ground bait. Those PVC contraptions there is our attempt at a boilie making device. Actually worked quite well. You can have a look at one of our other videos to see what happened. And here we've basically just got different supplies, so from canned corn and that kind of thing, all the way to jelly, old sunglasses, a toothbrush, some bass gear, bass lures that we've got, some ground bait, supplies to make boilies, a cloth to clean up, and just various additional supplies. The ground bait is in that big yellow packet. We buy it in like 4 kilo batches because it's cheaper that way. There's all our PVC odds and ends, and some extra bank sticks that we've got that won't fit into the 40mm pipe. We don't really need them. We've got more than enough bank sticks. We don't have enough rods, which is the next thing we're going to start buying. And guys, that's it from us. So that brings us to a close on our tackle. The next part will be the goose and the boilie and the bowl dips that we use. That'll be in our next video. We hope you enjoyed this one so far, and we hope you have a great day and stay safe, guys.